Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and I'm doing a new challenge. I don't think I have ever made a video when I did a CSI challenge. It's the CSI challenge has been around for many years, and I used to do it. In fact, I was the guest designer once a million years ago, and I absolutely love the the I guess creative juices that start flowing when I see the image, the color palette, and the kind of ideas, the evidence. They're numbered as case files. I'm sure you've seen some other scrappers out there with postings on this. There's some great things. This challenge is run by Debbie Tirani, and she's amazing. She's like seems to be published every time I pick up a magazine, and she's if you've seen her style, you know I love it because it's busy and it's colorful, and I wish I aspire to her style. Let me just say it that way. I also use a lot of color, and I also have busy pages, but they never look as good as Debbie's. Anyway, some of the evidence, I kind of checked off things that I thought I might want to use, and there's polka dots and wood grain, which I am going to have. I have this polka dot paper. I had already picked out, I had two scraps of this. This is a Photoplay collection called Crop Till You Drop. And this particular paper with the stripes on the background, is that right? No, it has the writing on the background. This is called Inky Fingers, and I don't know what the striped and polka dot one is, but it's from the same collection. So I'm going to put that branding strip aside. Actually, I'm going to put it in the recycle bin. And then I'm going to go about these scraps. I don't know where this wood grain scrap is. It was the smallest piece of wood grain that I had. I think it's Simple Stories just by what's on the back, but I don't know. This is from Bo Bunny's collection called Key Lime, and I don't know if any of you remember it, but it's definitely one of my favorites. And I have some 6x6 papers from that collection. I don't think, or no, is it Key Lime? No, it's Lemonade Stand. I was going to say I don't have any 12 by 12, but I do have a fussy cut lemonade stand. So that's the color palette is red, lime green, forest green, a darker green, and then a pale yellow, a blonde yellow they call it, and a light blue. And I think pretty much all those colors are in this paper. The yellows may be a little darker, and there's a light blue. There's the addition of the dark blue and the black. But I kind of figured that was good. But I like adding, when it calls for lime green, I like adding lime green because I love lime green. So I'm going to start putting it together. My story, if you will, is about my craft room. For those of you who following my recent organization frenzy, it's doing several things. It's getting things within reach when I'm filming, and it's consolidating things. I've identified things I'll never use that I'm going to donate, and so I've got two different organizations that I'm donating to, and there's a lot in there, and I've fallen in love with my stuff and my place again. So I took this photo. This was on, I think this was, I used this when I was posting about my reorganization video. And I filtered it so you couldn't really see the details of what's around it, which is why I'm not going to, it's not going to bother me to put this arched window from 49 and Market on top of it. You can still see through it, and you can see things on the side, and even if I cover things up, it's not lost that this is my craft room, my happy space, my the place I live. So let's start. These guys are going to get stacked up here, so I'm thinking that my mixed media, and I have a Bramble Fox stencil. It's Fox cut number 3, and it's called Splashes. And I have, let's see, I want to do this splash right here because it has a tail that comes down, and let me just read you some of I forgot to read you the evidence. There's a dash pattern like the grass. I don't know that I will have that. House or other architecture. My architecture is going to be the arched window. A dragonfly or other insect. My insect's going to be a butterfly. Frog or another animal. So I'm going to have a turtle because that's my my animal. Cup, jar, pitcher, etc. I don't think I have that. Paintbrushes. I'm going to have at least one paintbrush. Pencils, pens, paintbrushes, pencils, pens. I'm going to, excuse me, I have a box of crayons, and those are like pens of wax, wax pens. Let's just kind of, I'm stretching it there. Tabs, labels, I've got one of each. Books, inks or watercolor, art shape like the door, and draw or doodle something. So we'll see about the drawing and doodling. I have to run and grab my Stephen Duncan supplies because he has a paper in here we are loading this onto the table. He has a line called, oh, this is it. It's a crafty line. What is this one called? Happy Crafting. And one of the pieces of evidence is books. And I'm going to pull this out because those are albums, and they kind of look like my albums, which are all the colors. And I'm trying now to find a way to put this down on the floor to get it out of the way. And I will cut, let's see, pencils, pens, and tabs. There's some markers, so that would kind of fit that. Let me get this cut properly, and it's got a green background, and green is kind of shaping up to be a prevalent color here. I apologize for this time. I actually thought of this a while ago and then didn't go do anything about it. So there are all kinds of little images here that I can use on crafty pages. And this is gorgeous. And I think it's going to work. I'm going to place all that there, put this in its place, and okay, so I've read the evidence. We got topic. You can document something about creativity or home. I'm documenting creativity at home. And words use creative, visual, or inspire. And I don't have any, I'm not using any of those words, but right here it says, I love paper crafting. And I'm thinking that pretty much satisfies the talk about creativity requirement. So I'll know if Debbie kicks me out of the group when I try to get away with that. Okay, so let's get these down. I have distressed the edges so that there's some kind of inspired by, if you look at the image there, there's the house with the arched door, and there are pencils and pens and paint brushes and things like that, and greenery sticking up behind it, and little bits kind of peeking out the side. It's got something of a yard with some stepping stones, and it comes out to a little pond, and there's a stone that the little frog is sitting on. So I'm gonna, to me, these strips of paper are my pond, and then my yard is gonna be these things. We'll see how that works out for me. Okay, so my design here, my idea is to put these, kind of butt them up next to each other, but not absolutely all the way, so that there's some kind of space in between. And I may want to tuck some things down in there. Let me get this off, and I'll do the since the mixed media is not going to come down into the paper area, I'm going to be okay. Okay, and I just love that. And go here again. I like that color palette that is in the evidence is not in my photo, but there are a lot of colors there, and I'm going to add those colors down into the thing. Like, for example, this navy blue that's in here doesn't necessarily fit, but the filtered photo that I have, my pale aqua wall has kind of turned this dark navy blue, and there's some navy blue in the matting around that photo, and it actually really is navy blue, and there's some navy blue in that painting too. Okay, so that's down there. Let's do the stenciling. And I pulled out these watercolors. These are twinkling H2Os. And I thought, what if I used a brush on them and didn't wet them at all? Because I didn't want to wet them because the paper I'm using is fairly thin, and so I tested, and you might have seen that on here. I kind of tested it on plain paper, and it came out really kind of pretty. So I'm going to brush it lightly at first, and then I'll go back and rub harder on some of these and kind of outline the edges and do some of these little dots. Come down here. I'm using a small brush. I forget where it came from. This may be, if it's not Bramble Fox, it's very similar to the ones that Bramble Fox has. Okay, that's nice. And now I'm going to do a kind of big splatty looking one up here and kind of use them as almost like photo corners. And I might add some more small bits after I've got the page done. Let's wonder if that moves down. It doesn't allow me to go. Okay. That isn't very, it didn't take on the shape very well. What I'm gonna have to do is kind of rub that in a little bit harder, get a little more. The reason I like it darker at the edges is because that defines the edges, and it kind of looks like as it spilled, it got darker on the edges. Not crazy about that one, but I can do, for something coming down the page, I can do this piece right here. Get a little more on here. It may be getting a little, oops, my watch wants me to stand and walk around. Okay, so I've done that. We'll put this aside, but just within reach. And just so you know, I also have Twisted Citron and Modelon inks, and the prompt says inks or watercolors. So if I want to go back and add some more or add some accents around here, when it's put together, if this doesn't show up well enough, then I can always do that. Okay, and to let you know, when I show you the greenery, I used some dyes. This was some experimenting with I forget what he calls them now, but they're Ken Oliver's Color Burst. They have a different name now, but it's the same kind of magical powders, and this was my attempt at kind of blending some different colors, and it was just a piece of watercolor paper, and I've had it since I took a class with Ken, I don't know, 7 years ago. It's been, I believe that, because John has been gone for almost, hard to imagine, almost 4 years. And this was, kind of before he was ever sick. Anyway, I cut the greenery out of here because these colors are kind of in these papers and also in the clue, the evidence. Okay, so now I'm going to see how, let's see if I put this here, and I want to kind of center it, and then do something like this. And something like that. I don't know. because my title is going to go here underneath the, well, let me just put this down. You're probably laughing because these little tiny stars, they're everywhere, all over my desk, all over the floor, all over. And it's not that I spilled anything, it's that just handling them and transferring them from one storage location to another when they were loose in, I think those were in a mix that came from Paige Evans that was intended to be used to fill a let's see, and do that like that, and then this like that. Does that? I'm not liking it. I'm gonna cut this shorter and have it kind of coming down. I maybe put the glue a little too close and I'm not able to get that under there. And I'm okay if it's at an angle, but I'm going to need something over here to balance that. So maybe that's where, you know what? I said that this was going to be the yard. So it has to be centered. I'm going to do it here. And I'm going to tuck it way, actually I'm going to cut. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to stick it here. Center it, and then I'm going to do the same thing here. I don't have any adhesive. I guess I ought to corral these things. Okay, let's see if we can. And that kind of, the fact that one is shorter than the other actually looks like it's, that's receding, so it kind of looks like the yard leading up to the arch. I'm going to take the adhesive off, or the backing off of the adhesive in two areas. I've put those thin things here, 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 and there. I'm just going to remove this one and this one, and the rest are just for, let's see, does it go all the way down to there? The rest will just kind of keep it up and kind of keep it raised. Okay. I think it looks crooked, doesn't it? And I've just stuck it to my photo. Why does that look crooked? Does that look crooked to you? I'm just going to have to embellish so that you don't notice it. I'm going to put this right here. I have foam on the back of it to keep it raised up. And I'm gonna go in here and find turtle. Because the frog was on a pebble or what am I trying to say? A lily pad. And in the original, in the photo, I'm substituting a turtle for that. So I'm gonna have the turtle kind of peeking out of this, which, you know, could be watery, could be interpreted as watery. Okay, there, and there. Getting stuff off my desk because I need to now kind of start arranging things. Look, there's another one of those little stars. Okay, I'm gonna tuck the crayons, and I want things kind of splayed out because that's kind of the way they are in the inspiration image. So let me put some tape back there. Let me get this up where everybody can see it. This is Vicki Boutin, of course. I'm going to cover the or not. I don't know what I'm going to do. Maybe I think I'll put that right there just because it's oops, I dropped my scissors. And my big old roll of tape. Do that. There. And I want to add something, not quite sure what yet. I could do that. That could be one of my paintbrushes. This is from Bramble Fox, and I think I got it at the Dottie About Flair retreat or crop in 2022. I bought quite a few crafting related bits. Let me just dry fit that for now. Not quite sure where that's going to go. But let's pull a piece of greenery. Let's take this piece and see. Or should I put it like that? Not quite sure. I'll hold off on all of that. I'm going to put the label and then the tab. Label here, kind of just tucked under, and I almost have to watch it on screen to see if I've done it right. And then tab, I was going to put some I am going to put some foam tape behind it since I'm going to bring it down onto the photo. Let's see how that works. And now I'm going to kind of do that. Let's see. Here. I'm going to move it over. And I pulled these, this label and tab are 49 in Market from one of the travel collections, I believe. And could be anywhere, everywhere, or wherever. And I thought I would do, there's only one of these and there's two of each of the others. So I may do that. And I have to come now. There we go. Okay, and let's do the, I still have this butterfly, which I might combine with the title there. I want to be sure you can still see I love paper crafting, so I don't want to cover up too much of that. Let's see. Over here, I was going to use these two tubes of paint, and then I was going to use this paintbrush kind of layered under, but also kind of pointing out. Let's get some foam tape and see what we can do to keep that raised up, even though it's tucked under the photo. Okay. I'm going to do that, and then I'll tuck this, or do I want it the opposite way. I'm going to raise this up, and it'll be the same height as this one, but I'll be able to tuck the, and I'm going to put it, let's see, I'm going to put the, I'll put the tape here on the paint part. I'll do that, and then that works, and then this over here, I think that's going to work. And I'm going to put some foam behind this because I want that handle especially to be up. And then we'll go put some greenery in, and we're almost done. I have these scissors. Normally I save scissors for Katie pages because she's a hairstylist. But I use scissors too, darn it. Okay, let's do this. All right, and where did the scissors go? Do they go here and then this also, or do I use the scissors kind of as one of the things that's sticking up here? Don't know that I want to do that. I'm going to do greenery there. How about here? And the glasses maybe could go there, here, and not really. Let's do the, I think I do want the butterfly here. This butterfly is from a very old collection. I have a few bits and pieces of it, but what I like about it is right at the moment in my stash, it is a one of a kind. I don't have any other butterflies like this, and it's a little bit odd for me to use it or to love it so much because it's that's black and cream. It's not white. It's kind of cream colored, and I don't do a lot with cream. Remember Alice Bowl of Scrap Happy, who during one of the loads or one of the things kind of asked the question, do you use white or cream as your main background, and do you ever mix them? Do you use white and cream together? And I thought that was an odd question because I use everything with everything always, and I don't worry a whole lot about. Okay, so that's going to work there. Will this work like that? I think so. And I'm going to put the adhesive on the left frame and glue it onto the photo. And the foam will raise it up so it'll have dimension over the albums. Okay, now let's go crazy with greenery. I'm gonna do that right there and this right here, and then I'm going to add this one. This has that color yellow, this kind of pale blonde yellow, and I'm going to kind of make this sort of an extension from behind so that it's double layered. And I'm going to do the same with this. And I don't think I need to redo that, except, let's see, I think I can do this like so. Okay. I think I think I'm done. I will say that let's just kind of try this. I'm gonna go back over this, which is this one, with this color, which I think is going to brighten it up a bit, maybe compared to the other colors in the composition. That was kind of dull. Ooh, I haven't used my scissors yet. I'll have to come back and do that when I get done with this. This is, you can't really see it much behind there. This was it. But you can see these little dots here. So I'm going to kind of place this by the dots. I have to see if I can overlap them. Should have done this before I put the greenery on, but you know, there's a lot of shoulda, woulda, couldas in crafting, right? I'm going to do that. And maybe I'm gonna do a totally different like bit right there. Okay, that kind of stands out a little better. And I'm going to add in some splashes like this. Okay. I think we're good. Do I need something right there? Maybe. Let's see what we got. Haven't used this one. That's not as vivid as I thought it was going to be, but it's good. It's fine. Okay, there we are. I treated this time almost like a Calvin ball page, where I took the list of things in the evidence, and you don't have to do it this way. This is kind of, and I didn't do it that way when I did these challenges before. But in this case, I just kind of checked a bunch of them off, gathered the stuff, had no idea how I was going to arrange anything, and I ended up with this, and I absolutely love it. I have the red, which there are dots here. There's this. There's red in the greenery, and I have the lime green. This is the lime green. There's some lime green, and there's some in the greenery. And then I have the other green, which is meant to be a dark forest green. That's the color that's in the turtle and in some of the splotches in the splotchy paper. I hate that I covered the splotchy paper. I wish I had put the splotchy paper down here and the polka dots up there. So next time. and I just kind of thought, okay, let's just kind of pile it on. But I will write some journaling about how organizing my space has made me fall in love with it again. And I thank you very much for watching. This is I'm going to do, the CSI challenges come out each month, and there are, I think, a couple or three of them maybe during the month. So I will commit to doing at least one each month, and featuring a video. And then who knows, I may have some time to on my own kind of do some more. So do I need anything over here? I'm fine with it. This is a little heavier loaded, but oh, hearts. I'm supposed to have hearts, and I have a light blue heart and a pale yellow heart. So those are a couple of the colors, and I didn't pick these out. I knew, because I checked hearts, because I always use hearts, but I didn't pull them out. I didn't pull them. So I'll go put these hearts on. Let's see. I'll show you what they're going to look like and where they're going to go. And then it's going to take me a minute to peel the other sides of these. So these will go like that. I thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.